Most people believe that gardening means replanting every single season, digging, sowing, and starting from scratch year after year. But what they don't realize is that nature has already designed plants that come back on their own, stronger and more reliable without you lifting a finger. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why ignoring these plants could cost you not just wasted time and money, but also your family's food security when grocery shelves run empty and supply chains falter. We're living in a time where the ground beneath us feels less stable than ever. Systems that once worked, the grocery stores always stocked, the supply chains always humming, the prices always manageable, are now showing cracks. And those cracks aren't small. They're widening every single day.
Think about it. Just a few years ago, you could walk into a supermarket and trust that shelves would be full. Flour, rice, fresh vegetables, all there waiting. Today, you walk in and see empty spaces where staples used to be. Prices that used to feel normal now make you stop and double-check your wallet. And the truth is, this isn't just bad luck. It's the result of deeper economic shifts that are reshaping how we live. Inflation has become a household word. Every paycheck stretches thinner. Families are forced to make choices they never imagined. Do we buy fresh produce? Or do we settle for processed food because it's cheaper? Do we fill the gas tank, or do we cut back on groceries? These aren't abstract questions anymore. They're real, painful decisions happening in kitchens across the world. And here's the hidden truth. Our modern food system was built on convenience, not resilience. It's designed to deliver abundance when everything runs smoothly. But when storms hit, when fuel prices spike, when global conflicts disrupt trade routes, that system collapses faster than most people realize. If you're not prepared, you'll be forced to accept whatever scraps are left. You'll be standing in line, hoping the delivery truck arrives, hoping the shelves get restocked, hoping inflation doesn't push basic food out of reach. That's not security. That's dependency. And dependency is dangerous. I've seen this firsthand. During the pandemic, I remember walking into my local store and seeing entire aisles stripped bare. No flour, no rice, even canned goods were gone. People were panicking, grabbing whatever they could. And I thought to myself, what happens if this isn't temporary? What happens if this becomes the new normal?
That's when I realized the smartest move isn't to rely on a fragile system. The smartest move is to build resilience at home. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through plants that grow back every year without replanting. Because here's the logic. Annual crops demand constant reinvestment: seeds, soil prep, labor, time. If you miss a season, you miss the harvest. But perennials? They're like a savings account that keeps paying dividends. You plant once, and they return year after year. They don't care about inflation. They don't care about supply chain delays. They don't care if the trucks stop rolling. They're there, in your soil, ready to feed you. And let's be honest. Food insecurity isn't just about hunger. It's about dignity. It's about knowing you can provide for your family even when the world feels unstable. It's about looking at your children and saying, "We're okay. We've got this." We're entering an era where preparedness isn't optional. It's survival. The economy is shifting in ways most people don't fully grasp. Debt levels are rising. Currencies are volatile. Climate change is disrupting harvests worldwide, and every one of those factors trickles down to the grocery store shelf. So ask yourself, do you want to be at the mercy of those shelves? Or do you want to walk outside into your own garden and see food growing? Food that doesn't ask for permission. Food that doesn't demand replanting. Food that comes back year after year. I know it sounds dramatic, but the truth is, resilience is built in small, practical steps. And planting perennials is one of those steps. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's powerful. Because every spring, when those shoots push through the soil, you'll feel something deeper than just relief. You'll feel security. You'll feel hope.
Now, let's talk stakes. If you ignore this, you're gambling with your future. You're betting that inflation will calm down, that supply chains will magically fix themselves, that global conflicts won't spill over into food shortages. But history tells us otherwise. Every empire, every nation, every system eventually faces disruption. And when that happens, the people who thrive are the ones who prepared. And preparation doesn't mean panic. It doesn't mean hoarding. It means building systems that sustain themselves, systems that don't collapse when the world does. That's why I'm so passionate about these 15 plants, because they're not just food. They're freedom. They're insurance. They're a quiet rebellion against a system that wants you dependent. By the end of this video, you'll see how simple it can be to plant once and harvest for years. You'll understand why ignoring these plants could cost you not just money, but peace of mind. And you'll realize that resilience isn't complicated, it's natural. It's already built into the way these plants grow. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share isn't just gardening advice. It's a roadmap to food security in uncertain times. And trust me, you'll want to hear every single plant on this list. Number 1. Asparagus. At first glance, this seems like a fancy side dish. But what makes it powerful is its ability to regrow for 20+ years once established. In a real-world scenario, this allows you to harvest fresh greens every spring without replanting. If you're considering this, look for crowns instead of seeds to speed up growth. Number 2. Rhubarb. Most people ignore it because they think it's just for pies. But what makes it powerful is its resilience. It thrives in poor soil and cold climates. In a collapse scenario, it's a dependable source of vitamins. If you're planting, give it space. Rhubarb spreads wide. Number 3. Garlic, hardneck varieties. At first glance, garlic feels like a seasoning, not a staple. But what makes it powerful is its natural self-propagation. Cloves left in the ground regrow. In tough times, garlic boosts immunity and flavors bland meals. If you're considering this, plant in fall for spring shoots. Number 4. Chives. Most people ignore them as garnish, but what makes them powerful is their ability to return year after year, even after harsh winters. In a reset scenario, they add nutrition and flavor to simple meals. If you're planting, tuck them along borders. They repel pests. Number 5. Mint. At first glance, mint seems like a tea herb, but what makes it powerful is its aggressive spread. Once planted, it takes over. In collapse times, mint soothes digestion and masks food shortages with flavor. If you're considering this, plant in containers to control it. Number 6. Kale, perennial varieties. Most people think kale is annual, but what makes it powerful is that certain varieties regrow for years. In survival scenarios, kale provides iron and vitamin C. If you're planting, research tree kale or walking stick kale. Number 7. Jerusalem artichoke, sunchoke. At first glance, it looks like a weed, but what makes it powerful is its underground tubers that multiply endlessly. In collapse scenarios, it's a calorie-dense root crop that keeps coming back. If you're considering this, plant in a corner. It spreads fast. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They think gardening is all about annuals. Tomatoes, cucumbers, beans, the crops you plant, harvest, and then start over. They think resilience means stockpiling seeds and repeating the cycle endlessly.
But the truth is, that mindset keeps you trapped in dependency. Annuals are wonderful, but they demand constant reinvestment, new seeds, new soil prep, new labor. If you miss a season, you miss the harvest. And in a collapse scenario, missing one season could mean missing food entirely. Perennials flip that script. They're nature's built-in insurance policy. You plant once, and they return year after year. They don't care about inflation. They don't care about supply chain delays. They don't care if the trucks stop rolling. They're there, in your soil, ready to feed you. Let me give you an example. I had a neighbor who swore by annuals. Every spring he'd spend hundreds on seeds, fertilizer, and hours of labor. One year, a late frost wiped out half his crop. Meanwhile, my asparagus and rhubarb pushed through the soil like nothing happened. I didn't replant. I didn't spend extra. I just harvested. That's the difference. Another myth? People think perennials are boring, just herbs or decorative plants. Wrong. We're talking calorie-dense staples like Jerusalem artichokes, nutrient-rich greens like kale, and medicinal allies like mint. These aren't garnish. They're survival food. And here's the kicker. Most people underestimate the psychological power of seeing food return on its own. In uncertain times, when the world feels unstable, walking outside and seeing green shoots push through the soil is more than food. It's hope. It's proof that resilience is possible. So don't fall for the myth that gardening is endless replanting. The truth is, resilience is already built into nature. You just have to choose the right plants. This isn't about panic, it's about positioning. The people who prepare quietly today will have leverage tomorrow. When shelves are empty, when prices spike, when neighbors are scrambling, you'll be harvesting. You'll be feeding your family. You'll be secure. Think of it like financial planning. Some people spend everything they earn. Others invest. Perennials are your investment. They compound over time. They grow stronger each year. And when the system struggles, you're not panicking. You're positioned. I want you to see this clearly. Preparedness isn't about fear. It's about freedom. It's about building systems that sustain themselves. It's about stepping out of dependency and into resilience. And here's the authority piece. History proves this works. Every culture that thrived long-term relied on perennials. Ancient civilizations planted orchards, vineyards, and root crops that returned year after year. They understood that survival wasn't about replanting endlessly. It was about positioning for abundance. So when you plant asparagus, rhubarb, garlic, chives, mint, kale, and Jerusalem artichokes, you're not just gardening. You're positioning yourself in a lineage of resilience. You're joining generations who understood that food security is built, not bought. And here's the practical close. Start small. Pick 3 perennials this season. Plant them. Watch them return. Each year, add more. Over time,
your garden becomes a self-sustaining system. That's positioning. That's leverage. That's freedom. When the system struggles, prepared people don't panic. They adapt. They protect. They preserve. And that's what this channel is about. It's about building resilience, not fear. It's about choosing freedom over dependency. It's about planting once and harvesting for years. So as you walk away from this video, remember, every seed you plant is more than food. It's identity. It's proof that you're someone who sees beyond the moment, someone who prepares, someone who protects.
The future will test us. Inflation, shortages, instability, they're not going away. But when those tests come, you won't be scrambling. You'll be harvesting. You'll be secure. That's the power of perennials. That's the power of preparedness. And that's the power of you. Stay resilient. Stay prepared. And I'll see you in the next video.